Brandon's also a little elderly, so he doesn't hear so well.
Damn.
Plus, he was sitting so far away.
The Dodgers up 3-0 already? Fuck.
Yeah.
I was telling Dean my bosses are fucking assholes. They're talking so much shit. Like, how many games out of first place are the Padres?
Like Dodgers fans?
Like, yeah. And like you're only 10 games. You still have a chance. And I'm like, all right, fuck you. Like, goddamn.
They're playing good baseball.
I'm like, you guys already fucking won the division. We already know that shit's happening. They're about to turn, if they win today, they'll be 50-25. That's fucking good.
Before the All-Star break, too.
It's dominance. Did you guys hear that the Hall of Champions is no longer? They're turning it into a Comic-Con museum.
Yeah.
Speaking of Comic-Con, my tickets are coming soon.
There you go. But so they're going to have like the first inductee, right? Because it's like a museum thing.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you guys think the first superhero should be?
Iron Man?
Yeah, I'll go with Iron Man.
I was thinking Superman because he was the first superhero. You know what I mean?
Superman's stupid.
But yeah, but he was the first one. Do you know?
I do like Batman, but
they picked Batman.
You asked
to be
who
the first.
You asked who we thought. I said Iron Man. I hate Superman.
Yeah,
I do like Batman.
I'm not a Superman fan either.
You know what? I will say this. I feel like Batman is probably, out of every comic book, he's probably the most liked, or at least in the discussion for most liked. I feel like everybody likes fucking Batman, and I don't know if it's just because of the Dark Knight trilogy.
I don't know. I was just thinking more of the sense of like...
He was my favorite superhero when I was a kid.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's like, who's the most popular?
Before, like, the trilogy.
No, but I'm saying... I'm just using that as an example that also, like...
Don't get me wrong. Bruce Wayne is, like,
probably
has the coolest life.
Yeah, totally.
But at the same time, like,
Tony
Spider-Man was the original.
Tony Stark was pretty awesome.
World known.
Who? Superman?
Superman, yeah.
Yeah, Superman was pretty cool. I just remember the ride at Six Flags.
Oh, yeah.
That was big. That was a big deal when they opened that one up.
It was, yeah.
I remember they had like the sports science or the science behind it. And the guys that hold the tennis ball. And he's like, "Yeah, we're dropping at the same speed as the tennis ball, guys."
That was pretty funny. But yeah, I was thinking like maybe Spider-Man even too. Like Spider-Man's pretty cool.
Yeah. Spider-Man's really well liked. I
honestly thought it was going to be Iron Man, just because like.
Marvel.
Just because of the last Marvel movie.
Did you guys hear they're re-releasing Marvel?
Yeah.
To like try to break the record, the Avatar record?
It's kind of cool though. They're like releasing it with like some of the deleted scenes added to it.
So, someone told me that Avatar kind of did that a little bit too, to kind of like boost their numbers a little bit more too. Yeah. But man, I just want them to release it on video already so I can buy the movie.
Yeah. So I've been watch it a million times
because I've been wanting to watch it again.
I'll probably when they re-release it, I might go see it.
I'll probably will too.
Let's see what's at the end.
Yeah. Well, they're going to add stuff at the end, or I thought they were just adding extra scenes that they cut out.
Scenes.
Is it?
Yeah.
I heard there was going to be at the end, like after like the end credits.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I just know that they're like adding in like the, not necessarily deleted scenes, but extra scenes like they've done with Star Wars a plethora of times.
Mm-hmm. That'd be cool if they added on to the shawarma scene and something else happened afterwards.
Or if they brought that back in.
Because
that was when when Loki like disappeared, you know?
Yeah. That's right.
In Endgame is around that same time. So if they did like the shawarma scene again, and then Loki like walked by with the Tesseract, and they're like, "Wait, what?"
The hell? Well, there's a lot of people saying that Loki may not be dead because of the Tesseract scene. I don't know. These time travel movies, they can get you so just confused on what happened because it's so much of it's up to interpretation on how the directors and producers wanted to run with it.
Best one is Hot Tub Time Machine.
Hot Tub Time Machine.
Because that's exactly what I would have done. What that Lou guy did. Just everything. He invented everything and just put his name as in.
Lugal. If you want to look at anything, porn or anything like that, you go on Lugal.
Just go to Lugal.
Motley Lou. Yeah. That was my passion project. It was a bummer that the band had to break up.
That was funny. All right. Shall we start, gentlemen?
Sure. Boys, let's get to it.
Boys, let's get to it.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Camera action.
What's up, everybody? Three Amigos and a Podcast, episode 54, season 2, episode 3. Is that how we're doing it? Are we doing season 2?
Yeah.
I think it's cool doing it that way, don't you?
That way better.
I like it that way too.
Otherwise, just the numbers stack up and it just becomes daunting for our listeners.
Or is it like impressive? They're like, damn, they're at 500?
No, it's more like, damn, they've done another season 2, episode 52. Damn.
Like, what's going on in season 3?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of seasons, I have a huge bone to pick with you two gentlemen.
I don't know why you're getting so sensitive about this.
Because, dude.
What's going on? I don't even know what's going to happen here.
I watched the
Red
Reigns
Wedding.
of Casimir.
I watched
and
the Red Wedding.
The Red Wedding, I guess it's
Oh,
called.
God.
Dude, that was way too much for me. Like, I don't even think I'll watch Game of Thrones anymore.
Dude, the funniest
That
part...
was the worst episode in TV
funniest
history.
part when we had the...
That was actually like one of their top-rated episodes of all time.
I hate that episode.
I thought it was a good episode.
It's a great episode.
But they're
Like, it was really good. It was just...
I love Rob Stark. He's this and this and this. And like me and you, I think, looked at each other at the 1 year and we're like, damn, just stay quiet.
Yep.
Dude, I knew you were trying to warn us a little bit, because when we all went to the Padre game, I was like, oh yeah, Rob Stark's my favorite. You're like, yeah, he's okay. His character development kind of sucks. And I was like, okay, Ryan knows something I don't.
Yep.
Well, of course he knows something
Like
you
Rob,
don't.
Rob is honestly probably like at the time of you watching it, he's one of like the top 3 characters.
He was my favorite character.
Yeah.
That's what the show does, though. They
that's
take characters you really like, and then they just like throw you...
That's the only storyline I care about.
Like his storyline is, it clears, like it kind of makes everything clear for Sansa and for Jon as they progress through Westeros. So it's essential to the character development of everybody that surrounds them.
It just pisses me off. Like, it makes me so thankful for like text messaging and phone calls and all that kind of stuff, because I'm like, dude, they have no idea what's going on with anybody. Like, they're thousands of miles apart.
Yeah.
Sansa doesn't even, like, no one knows that Jon's dead right now.
Well, they all get separated, and then there's
then it's like there's no communication.
You see it at the end of the show where they all finally get to like
see each other
again, and it's just kind of like a crazy reunion.
That was the worst
damn.
part too, because it's like, I'm such a huge fan of Arya that I'm like, dude, she's finally gonna be able to see her mom again and be like, guys, I'm safe. And then everyone dies. I'm like, what did she even?
Yeah. I know, man, but it's huge for like all the Starks, like the Snow, like it's essential for their development, for the story to go on.
I'm just saying, like, all the Starks are, like, the main Starks are gone. Like, Bran and Rickon, like, go fuck yourself.
Well,
go fuck yourself, dude.
It's not their story. Let's say that. It's not their story.
Like, dude, Bran took over whatever the wolf's name is, and he was like, oh, I saw Jon. Why don't you fucking say something? Why don't you call out to him and be like, Jon? And then he could have came back and like been with you guys. Like, no,
because they weren't supposed to show that they were there.
I mean, he killed all the other wildlings.
Yeah,
like,
but if they would have
and then I'm super pissed off at Jon, because Ygritte is the woman. Like, she's the one, and then he just ditches her ass. Pissed. So I don't care about anybody's storyline now. Daenerys, go fuck yourself with your Abraham Lincoln trying to free all the slaves type shit.
I still think like the next couple seasons are like my
best.
favorite. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
If you give up on it now, you're gonna be so pissed.
Dude, it's so hard because
I think it gets better, man.
Yeah.
I really think like the next season,
like you start to go through it and you're like, Rob who? I mean, like,
yeah, I pretty much like the stuff you're talking about. I already forgot most of it.
It's so upsetting to hear, because I'm like, dude, Rob seems
it gets better.
Rob was the man, dude.
Like, I almost forgot he was in the show.
That's the thing. Like, everything comes back around. Like Rob made a huge mistake, and like it's the same mistake that his dad made, and that's the irony of the show, is that, you know, if you do things with honor, if
can't
you do
be nice.
No, like if you're doing things with honor, if you're doing things honest, like it's not built that way. Their realm isn't built that way. They're, you know, if you're meant to rule, if you're meant to lead, you can't necessarily do what everybody, you know, or like you can't always do the right thing. And it's unfortunate because, you know, he was honest. He stepped up and was like, I'm sorry for what I did, blah, blah, blah. Those Lannisters, man, they got a lot of money.
I mean,
they always repay their debt, though.
Don't tell me what's gonna happen. But just like the guy that's holding Theon captive, like what the hell is that about? That guy's so creepy.
He is super creepy.
Like I hate watching those scenes. We just saw so obviously it was the Red Wedding episode. It looked like the guy was gonna cut his dick off. I mean I wouldn't put it past him. Like did that happen?
Can we just tell you?
No, don't tell me.
Okay.
Because I don't want to know. I know it's going to happen in the next episode. They're going to show everything. And
No, I didn't show that. Well,
you don't show that.
Well, I mean, like, they're going to tell me everything.
Hey, that's a funny-ass scene, though. Do you remember that, Brandon?
God, I don't like that scene, though.
But that's so funny.
So,
can I just tell you?
Don't tell me, dude.
No, I don't like the scene, dude.
If
don't spoil it.
Brandon hates it. Can I just, warn you?
I don't like it, but...
He's not actually
Shush. Don't tell me, dude. Don't. No, I don't want to know. All right. Your must.
He's not actually eating his thing.
I don't remember it that well, but
it was something else. It wasn't that, but it was he was making visualize it. It's weird. Go ahead.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm just saying, dude. Just kill Theon already.
Theon?
Now that,
Theon. Oh, because he's been tortured.
Put him out of his misery.
And the only way that he was going to come back and be relevant in the show is if Rob was still alive, because I feel like Rob has a good heart and he would have forgave him.
Theon will become relevant again. That's the thing, dude. You're not even in the halfway point of it.
I know, and
you got to push through. It gets way better.
I'm just trying to think. I'm how is there so many?
That
more...
honestly, to me though, that is when the show truly started to me.
I think it gets way better from there.
From that point on was when the show really started to just become more and more intriguing.
I'm trying to think because I think the finale of the following season is my favorite scene. I think it's the finale of that scene or of that following season, but I think that's my favorite episode if I were to point it out.
I'm honestly gonna hate myself if all of a sudden I become a fan of
Jon Snow.
No. What's Kingslayer? Cersei's brother.
Oh, Jaime Lannister?
Yeah. If he becomes important in the show, I'm gonna hate myself, dude. Because I can't stand his character.
Plead the fifth on that one.
Plead the fifth. You're making us want to
answer me one thing.
You're just teasing us because I want to give my input on it.
Just answer me one thing, and you just a yes or no, and just leave it as that. And leave it at that. So the guy that that was killing people for Sansa, or I mean, that's for Arya.
Yeah.
And he switched his face, or whatever. Is he the same guy that helped out Daenerys?
No.
Okay. Because he said the Vola Margulis name or whatever, and then he came back with the two people's heads.
That part,
and I was like, "Shit, is that the guy?"
That story gets a little weird.
Yeah. But don't pay too much attention.
That guy was one of my favorites. All right, well, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's get into sports and stuff.
13 minutes of Game of Thrones talk.
I can just keep going on about it, dude.
Too.
I understand
the All Bad podcast.
Now I understand how people
that.
Got so into it.
Yeah,
I get it. I really get it
because it is an addictive.
But I wouldn't be able to wait week to week.
No, it's hard. And then you're gonna get to a point too where you're you get upset about Rob, and you're you want that to be settled. You want that score to be settled, so you're gonna continue to binge watch it. Yeah. Until you feel you're at a point where you're either over it or justice has been served.
Until all the main Lannisters are dead. Cersei, Joffrey.
Oh fuck,
Tywin.
Joffrey's the worst.
Yeah, Joffrey is literally what tied me into the show because I started watching it and I'm I fucking hate this kid.
Dude, I can't wait
I want him dead already.
Yeah, I want Cersei dead more than anything right now, dude.
She's a manipulative.
Yeah, she is. Yeah,
I like Tyrion though.
Yeah, Tyrion's the best.
That guy's hilarious.
Tyrion's the one Lannister I would not want dead.
Yes. All right, anyways, let's start off.
Yeah.
You guys want to do... Oh, yeah, and the Red Witch is fucking weird.
Yeah, she's creepy.
People think she's hot. I don't like her.
I don't think she's hot at all.
No.
Yeah.
What's your guys' thoughts on Ygritte?
It's hard for me to say any of them are hot in that show because they're all just so grungy. She's an attractive woman in real life.
She's married to Jon Snow.
Yeah, and they live in a castle.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
And I guess Jon Snow's an alcoholic now, but
he's out.
I don't think he was an alcoholic.
He wasn't. He actually put himself into rehab. He just thought he was.
He was just depressed because it was the show that he gave his life to, and then everyone's talking shit about it now. So
I actually like applaud the guy a lot for like getting out in front of that kind of stuff. I mean, it's nice to see when like you're so used to like, oh, this person overdosed on something, and you know
he's smart enough to know.
Yeah.
Well, plus she said, "I'm your woman, you're my man. And if you do anything wrong, I'll cut your dick off."
Yep.
So he had to go check himself into rehab.
Right.
I want his dick cut off. All right, you guys want to do baseball, basketball, or hockey first?
I think baseball.
Let's go baseball.
We need like a roulette wheel, like to spin.
I know, right?
To be like, all right, we're
that
starting
would be
here.
cool.
Yeah.
Dude, it was an impressive week for baseball.
Impressive week for the Padres. That's
Yes.
for sure.
Hell yeah.
It's been a good run, man. They stole the last game of the series against the Brewers to sweep them today.
They split the series with the Rockies.
And
Won
really
5 in a row now.
essentially stole that.
2.
We should have gotten swept probably in 4 in that series.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, let's start off with that series, and we can go to the Brewers series and then go forward.
Chronological.
But that Padres Rockies series, one for the record books, most combined points in a 4-game series. They scored 92 in total. I mean, just the way that they won those games was incredible. It gave so much life to just the Padres
offense.
as an organization, I feel like.
Yeah, it did. We were starting to fall into a lull there.
Mhm.
I mean, I think they said the next highest scoring 4-game series was like back in like the 20s, and it was like 80 something or something like that. So like, they like surpassed it by quite a bit. And yeah, Padres offense looking alive. This is what I thought our offense was gonna be great all year, but our pitching I thought was gonna be pretty bad, and our pitching started out great this year, and now
it was just crazy how you see all these like trade rumors about Hunter Renfroe come out, and he comes out and hits like 5 home runs.
5 home runs in that series.
Yeah,
just tearing the cover off the ball.
Yeah,
and it was funny because when we were texting during that game, he had already had 2 home runs, and I thought they were gonna walk him, and I was like, I don't even understand why they're pitching to him. Like, and then he hits another 3-run home run.
You're like, damn.
I mean, he got all of them too. I mean, it wasn't like just the
like
Coors Field.
Yeah, there's one that I think that was a scraper, but the others.
But that was still to like right center field. Like that was over like 420 feet.
Dude, if we played at that stadium in Colorado, how many home runs we'd hit? Like,
oh yeah. I thought you were talking about
Padres.
us.
No, as the Padres.
I was like, I don't think we're hitting any.
No, I mean like. You see, like that game Hunter Renfroe hit 3 of them.
Yeah.
The first one was like low and in, and somehow he just fucking went oppo on it.
He still hit it like 440 feet though.
Renfroe's got some strength, man.
He does. The second one was up and away, and somehow he still pulled that to like left center for a shot.
When he hits it, I texted you yesterday, and I was like, dude, I thought he got it. Just every time I see him make contact with the ball, I start to think it's going to get out now. Like that's how strong he is, and he could just literally hit it to any ballpark out on any.
That one yesterday, I really thought though if he would have stayed back and drove it to right field, it probably would still be going. It looked like he got fooled just a little bit.
Yeah. Just to get all of it in there.
Yeah, I mean he still got a good chunk of it.
Well, I was telling Dean this. He's already up to 23 home runs, and we're not at the halfway point.
Yeah.
That means he's like close to Greg Vaughn pace for franchise record for home runs in a season when he hit 50.
Well, Reyes hit his 20th today, so I mean he's in that same
he's right
that same
there.
vein. It's like if you double it now,
he's behind, but just a tad.
Just a tad though, like a game away.
Yeah, basically,
a game or 2 away. And
I think the biggest thing is, I mean, Manny Machado's bat's finally coming alive. He had a few home runs in that series as well. Not just that, I mean, he's squaring the ball up really well. He's more patient. He's driving the ball to the opposite field, which is what you want him to see. Left center, right center, hitting with runners in scoring position. I think that was the biggest thing that I took away from this game is they weren't leaving runners on base. Or the series, I should say.
That last one, they had 14, 15 hits, and they scored 14 runs or something like that. Like, damn, that's
exactly that's a line you want to see.
Remember, I always tell you I look at that hit to run ratio, and every time the team that has the better hit to run ratio, for the most part, generally wins.
Yeah. Definitely, and like you said, how Machado is just really seeing the ball. I think that's also what led to him being so upset about that outside call that he ended up getting ejected on. It was just like he knows where his strike zone is at, and I feel like he knows what he's looking for. I mean, I don't know.
I'll never fault a player for getting upset about balls and strikes. It's one of the human errors of the game, and it's one of those kind of like in hockey when you get in a fight. Like if you're going to go up there and you're going to argue balls and strikes with the umpire, it's going to light a fire under your teammates. Sometimes that's just what you need. And
Yeah.
In this case, obviously, we didn't end up winning that game, but we still kept it pretty close. There's a lot of people out there who are not Padre fans, maybe aren't Manny Machado fans, but I mean, it's the same behaviors you see from players like Bryce Harper, that you saw from Alex Rodriguez frequently throughout their career. It's part of the game, and being it is hitting as hard as it is, you don't want to have or feel like you got cheated on a call. And I felt like, it was close. I would.
He should have been walked on that call. I was telling you how I felt on it. I think he deserves a suspension for that. Honestly, just because he was cussing him out. And
the way he threw his bat.
I felt like it was a sign of disrespect.
Yeah.
And he did get, that was a bad call. He deserves to be able to speak his mind, but you got to
the one game suspension is fair.
But I think the Umpires Association say only one game, like any kind of physical altercation, you know what I mean, assault on somebody.
I'm
like
he did not assault you.
He didn't even bump you.
I really appreciate how the MLB got out in front of that right away.
Same.
It was like, it is just like it would not be appropriate for you to comment on MLB or Players Association. Like, it's not okay for you guys to be commenting on this.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. I do feel like a 1-game suspension is fair. The only issue that I had is that they're claiming that he touched him, and if that's what he's being suspended for, then no, he shouldn't.
I agree on that.
If it's
the way he acted, how he threw his bat,
cussing at him a storm.
Yeah.
That's to me. I think that's not. You're losing your composure. You're not acting like a professional there, and that's why he deserves.
And anytime you fuck comes out of your mouth on television, I feel like that enough right there is a 1-game suspension.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was.
You see the way that basketball players in the NBA react to, the people on the what do you call it? Not the baseline, but like right on the floor, cussing at them. They're like, "Get them out of here." It's the same for the players. It's like if you start cussing, you should be gone too.
Yeah,
it's just not good. I feel like it's very well known. MLB umpires are the most
scrutinized.
Not scrutinized, but like mall cop fucking think that they have so much power out of nothing. And going forward, do you think that this is going to have an effect on the Padres getting calls?
No, I don't think going forward. I feel like with the MLB being still writing their paychecks, it's tough for them to show favoritism because their jobs are at stake. So I don't feel like it's something that's going to be reciprocated throughout, but I do feel like they kind of have to be a little bit more on edge, but they have to be a little bit more cautious about
polished, more
their actions. The players have to be a little.
That's
more
what I mean.
They have to be a little more cautious about how they react. You saw it yesterday with Hunter Renfroe, and the umpires looked at him and said, "Get to the dugout." It's human error, and with baseball being the way that it is now, and these catchers being as good as they are at framing the ball, they're basically being tricked into calling balls and strikes.
Yeah,
I don't care about umpires have a specific strike zone. That's part of the game. Some
consistent.
But that's the thing is it has to be consistent. With Manny Machado's, he wasn't calling that pitch all day.
Yeah.
If you're going to call the low and away one all day, at least allow the batters to kind of adapt to that.
And be like, this is where I have to protect.
And we're talking about, again, with human error, there's a couple inches to an inch that's different between a ball and a strike. So as long as you're consistent with the zone, I don't have a problem with it, because as the game goes on, in the bottom of the ninth inning, if you strike out looking at a fastball low and away, and they've been calling the fastball low and away, that's all on you.
Yeah.
If they've been consistently calling it a ball, then it's on the umpire.
Yeah. I will say, though, the one player that I loved always watching, and that would always, I don't think this day and age, if a player started doing it, that they would even be allowed. They'd probably be, fucking rung up and tossed, was how Derek Jeter used to put the butt of the bat, exactly where he saw the ball come in.
Uh-huh.
He used to do that, on that pitch low and away. It's he would reach out and be like, it came across right here. Just to be like, hey, man, this was clearly a ball. I can see it all the way in. You can't. So, you know what I mean? That's my only thing.
They're hypersensitive now.
They are.
It's a bummer.
It's bad. And
they have one of the stronger unions, though.
Yeah.
It's one of the few, there's a handful of umpires out there that are just terrible.
Mm-hmm.
This one,
Joe Madden.
Joe Madden.
Joe Buck.
No. The umpire.
Joe Madden. That's a
Joe.
coach.
That's the coach.
Madon. He's one of the umpires. He was like I think that was the umpire that rung him up.
Well, anyways, yeah.
I know Joe Madden. Basically,
if you know the name of an umpire, that's not a good sign for the most part.
Yeah, 100%. That is absolutely correct. Yeah. I mean, I was listening to the radio station this morning. They said the same exact thing. If you can like label these guys by their first and last name, that means they're not doing their job correctly. Yeah. And the part that pissed me off most about the Machado getting tossed was he got tossed quick.
Real quick.
And after he got tossed is when he threw his helmet.
Because he got tossed on turn and be like, man, that was not a strike. You've been calling that all day. Obviously, we don't know exactly what he said. Maybe he cussed at him or said something, you know. But it's like as soon as he turned and muttered something, he tossed him.
Yeah,
and it was
like, he tossed him, and then he gave him an earful.
Yeah. Then he got his money's worth.
Yeah. He's like, all right, I'm ejected. All right.
Yeah. So I'm cool with the 1-game suspension for now, but that is something the MLB is going to need to start getting control over because there are a few of them out there. It's just bad, and it's not consistent. Not consistent at all.
Well, it's an isolated incident, too. You don't see it happen too often in baseball, so I don't see it becoming a pressing need.
But it is something that is becoming increasingly more, like people are becoming more aware of it.
Yeah.
Because coaches aren't shutting their mouths about it anymore.
I feel like players in general in all sports are getting a lot more vocal towards referees. You know, you see it in football, you see it in basketball, you're seeing it in baseball. Like they're just getting more vocal to get their calls. So, but then the Padres had a little home series against the Brewers, which fared really well. I thought
fared very well.
Got that 3-game sweep, man. That was huge.
The Brewers are a tough team. You know, they got a lot of good hitters on there. Obviously, Christian Yelich, going for that MVP.
With the way we've been playing. Going into the series, I would have been happy taking 1 game, to be honest.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like, that's where I was at going into. I'm like, well, the Brewers are top of their division in a very tough division.
Yep.
And
I also
they've been playing well.
I thought it was extremely ballsy to give Logan Allen the ball in this series. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely thought there was some couple other teams that you could go up against. I think we're going up against the Reds next.
I think they're just
the Pirates.
They're desperate right now.
Yeah,
they're desperate for arms, especially with Paddock.
Well, that was the one thing we learned throughout that whole Colorado series is that our bullpen and our starting rotation is not where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime you're setting a record for the most runs scored, looks great offensively, but on the other side
somebody
of that,
had to give up those runs.
Exactly. And you saw some Strom went out, didn't have the best outing. It's okay. The one that's killing me lately is Mark Gavages. That dude.
They sent him down.
Yeah, but they probably should have done that before he started that game. But I was impressed with Logan Allen.
7 shutout innings. That's pretty
impressive. Hard not to be impressed with what Logan Allen did.
I'm not going to sit
and
there.
And Lucchesi, too.
Lucchesi pitched excellent as well. Lucchesi's definitely he's turned a corner this year.
He was the guy going in. I think we all agreed he was our number one guy.
He struggled earlier on, and he started.
Yeah, he was our number one coming into the season, but after that 2 months, we definitely thought that he was kind of on the back end of our rotation.
He's looking more like our number one again. I just feel like he's more polished than most of the pitchers that we have.
Kind of has that longevity too.
He's got the polish, definitely. Yeah. I think everyone else is still kind of rough around the edges.
Logan Allen, the book's still out on him. It's one start. Obviously, it was great against a good team. I was mostly impressed with the fact that he utilized his changeup in counts that weren't in his favor. Mm-hmm. So it means he was keeping the batters guessing.
Mm-hmm. And he's confident in his ability to throw a strike.
Throw his off-speed pitches for a strike. So he kept his pitch count down for the majority of the game. I know it started getting up there a little bit more towards the 6th and 7th inning. You could tell he was fatiguing. I was texting you guys about that. Mm-hmm. He was leaving a lot of balls up. But it almost
survived too.
It almost worked out in his favor though, because he was working really low in the strike zone, earlier on in the game. So I was impressed that even with tiring,
he was
still able to work in his favor.
Location.
That was perfect for our bullpen too. Both those games, the first and the second one, because the starter went so deep into those games that our bullpen, who's getting taxed heavily in that Rockies series, finally has the ability to get some rest, and they have tomorrow off too, so they're just going to become more rested.
I was thinking the same exact thing. This is the exact series that our bullpen needed.
Yeah.
So
and the team all around team needed this.
So we'll see. It was nice to see some celebrities out there watching.
John Cena. Did you hear the whole story?
I thought that was a really cool story. For everybody to listen, go ahead and tell it.
Well, I mean, I kind of know a little bit of it, but from what I had heard is John Cena was like having steak at a steakhouse or something, and he saw, I think Logan Allen with some other MLB prospects talking to an agent, I think, and I guess John Cena's had some bad experience early in his career with an agent who was doing some shady stuff. And so he kind of just wanted to go over there and give him kind of a heads up, like, hey, make sure you know what you're doing, this and this. Mm-hmm. Like your agent can make or break your career and this and that. And then I guess he had like a bet with him, a dollar bet that he didn't think he would make it to the bigs.
It was like a motivational.
He basically said that this kid looked like somebody that hasn't gone through adversity throughout his life. He hasn't been challenged. He hasn't seen failure. So as more of a joke, I wanted to motivate him, saying like, "Hey, I'll bet you $1 that you won't make it to the majors." And I thought that was cool that he showed up to his first start. He sat there, he had his jersey on. And then the next day, he repaid his debt with $1 out there on the mound, which was really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. You have
he's
all
a
these,
character, too.
When you have all these major prospects in the Padres organization, and I wouldn't put Logan Allen up with, the Fernando Tatis, Mackenzie Gores of the world, but he's still a good prospect.
He's still a top 10 prospect.
And now he's tied to John Cena for the rest of his career.
Well, plus I just
signed that dollar with everything, and I'm sure he's going to get that framed and put it up in his house and everything.
I just like the motivation behind John Cena, too. You know what I mean? It's like he's not really putting the kid down, but at the same time, he's like, just prove yourself to everybody. It's $1. The dollar's nothing. The dollar's nothing, but at the same time, just do it because somebody's telling you can't. Yeah. Keep that in the back of your mind. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
But
definitely cool.
Some other MLB news. We had 2 players hit for the cycle back to back, which I don't know has ever happened before. I mean, I don't really know the exact stat if that's true or not, but first time I've seen it. Shohei Ohtani becomes the first Japanese player to hit for the cycle, which is always fun. It's a perfect time right when Ichiro retires. You got a new,
Ohtani's a stud, man. You've seen his bat come to life. I don't know if he's going to be a pitcher at all in his career, or he's going to go back into it.
Has he thrown any?
Not this year, but
not post Tommy John, no.
Yeah.
I honestly just let his bat do some work, and then if you feel confident down the road, maybe put him back in the rotation or something.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's not something that's been done. So or not for years and years and years, and it's because it's a lot of effort.
His bat's looking really good right now. So I'd rather have at least a healthy bat than try to stretch him into some two-way superstar that hasn't been done since.
It's a lot easier to find pitching prospects and trade for pitchers because there's so many of them. Mm-hmm. It's hard to find consistent bats that work with your lineup, and having Justin Upton back in their lineup, and obviously having Mike Trout and Andrelton Simmons. There's some good players on that team, and he fits perfectly in the outfield for him. Obviously working more as a DH right now, but if you can get that left-handed bat in there, it definitely provides a spark to your lineup.
Yeah, then Jake Bauer does it the following day. It was kind of funny because he needed that triple at the end. They're like, to seal it. And
the hardest one.
It's the hardest one. And they interviewed him afterwards, and they were like, were you going to go for it at all costs? And he's like, yeah. Yeah, I would have done everything I could to go for that too. Which I think is just fun, It's like you just have fun with it at that point, which is cool. Then the Yankees trade for Edwin Encarnacion. They gave up pitcher and some cash.
Bronx Bombers just got bigger.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's lethal.
Honestly,
they're scary. I'm glad we don't play him anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I hope we do play him again.
At this point, it's just Series, it's like Aaron Boone is just trying to collect all the Infinity Stones. He's honestly, okay.
He's got to have insurance because all these guys have been dropping left and right. I mean, he can never have too many. You can never have too much depth.
I think the biggest piece of this as well is you're keeping him away from other competitors.
That too.
And I think that's the biggest reason that the Yankees went out and pulled the trigger on this deal is that you can keep him in your lineup, obviously, like using him as a DH for when
Giancarlo or Judge.
Well, Edwin Encarnacion's the first baseman. Luke Voigt's been playing well.
Yeah.
So I think it's somebody that they would rather have at a DH spot, to be honest. But again, it's more insurance, but it's also the fact that nobody else in your division, nobody else in the American League has them now.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just, it gets to a point where it's like, well, what are you going to do when everyone's back,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have some good pieces.
We see it with us, the Padres. Kind of got a logjam, not enough playing time for everyone, and it doesn't help when you're not getting consistent at bats.
Yeah. Yeah, well, let's move over. We'll do some NBA stuff. NBA championship.
That's right. I mean, we had our predictions.
Brandon lost.
Yep,
I lost.
I think we got it
right. You
lost.
You picked the right one, though.
Raptors in 6.
You picked the Raptors, but he said 6.
Yep.
I was impressed.
I know what I'm talking about.
He knew what he was the guy who watches the least amount of basketball out of the three of us got it right.
And this is Dean with NBA talk. I will be taking over from now on.
No, it was that was a good ending.
Yeah.
That was a crazy ending. I was a little bummed the refs kind of ruined it at the end.
I was bummed to see
Klay Thompson
go down.
That too, God.
Do you guys think that, obviously I'm the number one NBA guy on this podcast, but do you guys think that this championship by the Raptors is going to be tainted at all due to the
hell no?
No, they earned it. They put themselves in that position. I think you could technically put that. If you use that same logic, you could say the same for the Warriors' first one against the Cavs when Kyrie and Love went down.
It's something that writers and analysts they talk about during, but after the fact, it's done. That's it. Yeah. There's a champion. There's a team that won. There's a team that lost. The team that lost, people forget about them, and the team that wins is written their name in history.
Yeah, that Klay Thompson injury though, man, it looked so bad. I know Danny Green, obviously he's just playing the ball. He didn't mean to hurt, you know what I mean? It wasn't malicious or flagrant. But just to see him come out to hit those free throws, I was like, dude, good for you for coming back out and hitting the free throws, trying to just put yourself back in the game.
Yeah.
But the way he was jumping up and down, I was like, dude, you fucking tore you tore it. Quit.
He's
just stay, be minimal.
He's a competitor. He was even saying afterwards, hey, am I going to be able to play Game 7? Because at that point they were up, I think, in that game.
Plus, I thought it was a little messed up of Steve Kerr after he hit the second free throw. There wasn't a buzzer to sub him out. No one was at the scorer's table. I was like, really? You're going to leave him out there? Dude, come on. You should have somebody at at half court right now.
Yeah, he probably just didn't know the severity of the injury.
They did a foul.
They
fouled in, so they had time to figure out what they wanted to do.
But it was just the fact.
Yeah, that bummed me out a little bit, especially now. 2 of the top 3 free agents that are available now are not going to be playing next year. At least Kevin Durant definitely not.
I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if both of them re-up with the Warriors. The Warriors already said they're going to offer them both the max.
That totally makes sense, but it means the Warriors are taking an L on next year.
Yeah, they'll be. I think they'll still make the playoffs because they'll still have a competitive roster.
Oh, definitely.
But they'll be a lower seed. They're not going to be a top 4 seed.
And now you're just banking on Steph Curry to work his magic every day.
Yeah,
You're
going to have to lean heavily on Curry, which. I mean, you could structure a team around Curry.
And Curry's had his health issues of his own, and that's the other part.
No, I'm not penciling him into the Western Finals.
No, hell no. I mean, at this point, it's not looking to me very much like they're definitely a playoff team.
But
Curry and Draymond
that's
Green.
What's crazy about this finals is it really had a ripple effect across the entire league. So there's all these teams positioning themselves for free agency. A team like the Knicks trying to go heavily after Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
he's gone. He's not playing all next year.
Yeah,
if he does, it'll be at the end, and your stupid franchise
it's just crazy.
Rushing him back.
No, and it's just crazy that it literally opened the entire NBA up.
Yeah,
because regardless of what happens, I mean, if they're hurt and they sign with the Warriors are no longer this 4-headed monster that you have to deal with, And to me personally, I know Steph Curry is a phenomenal athlete, but it takes away the 2 best players, the 2 best pieces on their team.
Plus, he doesn't seem. I mean, to me, he doesn't seem like a player that can carry a team all season long.
I agree 100%.
And no, for sure.
And they're gonna, I think,
then they're gonna be financially restricted. And then if Kevin Durant signs with another team and just sits out a year, you're still taking away one of the best players in all of basketball.
They're still without it. So
yeah, exactly.
With or without him,
they're losing depth too. Iguodala and Livingston are probably both going to retire at the end of the year. They've both been kind of leaning towards that, and I can't imagine in a year that they're basically punting, they're going to say, "No, I'm going to stick around for another year."
Well, because then it's like you're signing yourself up for two more.
For 2 more,
Yeah.
and if you're already thinking about retirement, 2 years seems like eternity in basketball. So
definitely, it's a lot on your body. So I mean, yeah, we'll see. It was. I mean, congratulations to Kawhi Leonard for the entire Raptors organization.
Stud, man.
I mean, they put it down. I mean, if Kawhi decides to leave and join the Clippers, and that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, that was my next segue with free agency open. It's like, where is Kawhi gonna go?
Hold 1 second, though.
Yeah,
nobody knows where he's going. To be honest,
and kind of tying into my original thought, I feel like with the Raptors right now, if he does decide to leave, you can't. It's not going to salt any kind of wound. I feel like you put out everything that you could have possibly put out. You brought him in open arms, gave him all the pieces he needed. You got a Marc Gasol. You won a championship. Now if he leaves, it's not because he doesn't, or it's because he just doesn't want to be in Toronto. He wants to be closer to home. So I feel like with both parties there, it would be a pretty mutual breakup.
It's the LeBron effect. When he left Cleveland the second time, the fans were okay with him leaving because he won him a championship.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is. You're like, oh, you got me a championship.
And they knew it was a 1-year rental.
You can do what you want now. You took care of business, and that's what we wanted out of you. But
they knew it was a 1-year rental. They were like, hey, we've had a team, last year that was best in the East that we couldn't get past LeBron James. Let's go after a player that can compete with a player like LeBron James and see if it doesn't bring us a championship. With that, we'll try to sell him on the city of Toronto. I mean, ultimately, I think it's a 50-50 for Kawhi. I mean, nobody truly knows.
Right now,
but 50-50, and I would say between the Clippers and the Raptors.
They're
I don't think there's any other team out there that's gonna lure him in.
It's really, I don't even think Kawhi knows where he wants to go at this point. So it'd be impossible to guess because
it would have been a lot easier decision if they lost.
Probably, yeah. He might have probably decided to leave, but obviously it's going to be a lot easier on him if he does decide to leave because he won that championship. But there's going to be some other big free agents out there, and you forget DeMarcus Cousins a free agent too. We didn't even talk about him, but he's
basically useless.
I mean, he is, but I'm not a huge fan of his. But
he looks like shit this year.
But I'm saying he's another Warrior that's a free agent too.
Oh no, totally. Yeah.
No,
he didn't really. I mean, to me, he didn't do enough for them this year. He's not going to get a max contract from anybody.
Oh no way.
Yeah,
no.
He didn't prove his value. Unfortunately, he also didn't win a ring. But there's tons of studs out there. Kyrie Irving, Kemba Walker, just name a couple.
There's guys opting out now. Al Horford, who I thought was on a really good deal with the Celtics, he opted out.
Let's just steer over this ironic, because we haven't got into the massive Lakers contract. But if you're looking at the Celtics and they had all these draft picks, they had all these pieces, and they were going to go on this crazy championship run. They miss out on a player like Anthony Davis. They miss out on a player like Kawhi Leonard, Jimmy Butler. God. They still have all these chips,
and the one player
they don't have a championship.
And the one player they went in on was Kyrie Irving,
and he's leaving.
Leaving. He had his injury. He didn't really play that well with them.
So they don't have a high draft pick this year, and they're stuck with their pieces that they were going to have to be able to move to find somebody to trade for. I mean, luckily, Jason Tatum's a stud. That's somebody they can build a franchise around, I believe.
They have a competent GM too who can get it done.
Yeah, it's just funny to me now how unless they can go out and sign a massive free agent, which to me the likelihood is slim, it doesn't look like their plan worked, which is unfortunate because when we were looking at it, beginning of last year, beginning of this year,
I think me and you had them going to the finals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we definitely thought they were going to the finals. They were going to have a lot of trade pieces to go after Anthony Davis, and now
they're going to be losing players this year, like Terry Rozier. Who's the other guy? Well, obviously Al Horford.
Jaylen Brown is a stud. I love that dude.
Jaylen Brown's still under control though.
No, you're talking about players that are leaving.
Yeah, I know Terry Rozier.
Scary Terry. They could probably re-up Scary Terry now.
There's another one too though. I can't remember what his name is.
Marcus Morris is going to be probably. I think he's a free agent too.
Yeah. But yeah, they're losing. They're potentially
huge...
losing a lot of pieces, especially because the chemistry in that locker room wasn't where they wanted it to be. Mm-hmm. But that brings me into my other point.
And then with the Hayward injury too.
Yeah.
I mean, they couldn't see that coming, and that really, he hasn't looked the same since the injury.
Yeah. I didn't even bring him up in that. That's how irrelevant that he's been since. Yeah. But to lead into my massive point, the Lakers trading for Anthony Davis. Mm-hmm. You know, the chips have fallen, completely in the Lakers' favor. Whether or not, we talked a little bit before, whether it turns into them having the ability to sign a max player or just have $27 million of cap space to go after, a couple under, not max deals.
Some solid players to surround them with, which isn't a horrible thing.
This is huge for the Lakers, man. I thought that this trade could not have gone better for both sides.
Yeah.
I think if you look at it from like a side of who won the trade, I think I very slightly lean towards the Lakers, and mostly because they had the ability to get rid of players and contracts that weren't working.
Plus, they got to keep Kuzma. Kuzma's
and that's the other
guy.
part. That was literally the other part.
I thought he was going to be the number one trade piece that they were going to get and put in that deal for Anthony Davis. You get rid of Lonzo Ball, who's just been terrible, since they've gotten him. You get rid of
I wouldn't say he's terrible. It's just all of the players that were traded, they're always hurt. I mean, outside of Josh Hart, Josh Hart's still a player that averages like maybe 9 points a game, so it's not like he has potential. The Pelicans are getting a ton of potential, and say what you want, but having the ability now to draft a Zion Williams, potential will sell tickets in New Orleans.
Well, not only that, but you get a 1 and a 4.
They're getting
that's huge.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought they paid pretty heavy when they were the only team in the race, to be honest.
But think about
the Lakers.
Yeah, I thought they. Yeah. I think they overpaid a little bit.
What pieces though do you feel like they overpaid?
Well, so they're giving up 3 first-round picks and the rights to swap on 2 of the off years. So
that's
it's
what I mean. That swap is a lot.
Yeah, those two swaps could be potentially huge. And then one of those first-round picks is going to be when the Lakers are rebuilding post LeBron.
Yeah,
so
it's the whole point of that though is to win a championship.
No,
you eat that
now.
No,
and I get what you're saying. I'm not saying they made a bad decision going after him and going all in on him. I just think they paid more than they should have.
They literally went all in.
Yeah, they literally went all in.
There's no other chips they had to trade.
And they didn't need to do that, in my opinion. I think they could have still got him if they gave up, 3/4 of the assets that they gave up.
Well, I think also the Pelicans knew what they wanted.
I disagree, though. I feel like this trade would have gotten done a lot earlier if it would have been less. I feel like if the Pelicans were shooting for...
You said it wouldn't have or
no,
would have?
I feel like it would. Like if you're saying that they could have gotten it for like 70% of what they put out, if that was the case, then the trade would have happened at the deadline.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think you could have waited them out and they would have they would have given in at some point, though. Honestly, they got it done so early in the off season that you could have
Well, I honestly think the lottery is what kind of sealed this deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The fact that the Lakers have a number 4 pick, once the Pelicans saw, okay, we can get the 1st and the 4th this year, that's another huge piece.
And that's the other reason.
They for sure were going to get the trade, but I still think they were going to get that trade regardless. If that pick stayed at 10 or 11 or wherever it was originally slotted to go, I think they still get Anthony Davis.
I think they would have given up more pieces now.
I think that they would have held on to him if they weren't going to get exactly what they wanted back.
I don't think no other teams were really knocking on the door though.
From a player and contract standpoint, they would have gotten more from the Lakers.
Because the thing is those draft picks that you're talking about, they have to pay these players and they want to go after another max deal. Mm-hmm. So the Lakers don't want those draft picks, regardless of if they get swapped later on. Because if they don't want to hold on to these draft picks. They want the other team to have them so they don't have to pay first-round salary to players.
Well, they're allowed to go over the cap to sign these guys.
Yeah, but you also have to pay into the luxury tax at that point. So if you could not do that...
The Lakers should be able to afford the luxury tax. They're one of the biggest market franchises in the league.
But I'm saying if you could do it without...
It's better to do it without than to have to pay.
And also, depth is important in the league, you can't just
But the other aspect of this is that Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram and all these players, they got shat on in the middle of this year.
And you can tell for that sure. No, and Brandon Ingram did not want to play with LeBron.
I'm not hating on the players that they traded away. I think the picks, they gave up way too many picks on top of that, considering they're probably going to flip Lonzo for another first-round pick.
Well, the value of this pick this year alone, number 4 pick being what it is, with probably being Darius Garland,
and the talent that's in this draft
I don't value that pick very much. I don't see the
4th pick's not that valuable. Compared to the past.
Obviously, you don't know what you're giving up. So to me, you're giving up a very devalued 4th overall pick this year, and then you're giving up the first round picks later. Like, those are probably the most valuable pieces in this draft. But like when you look at 3 versus 2 with an asterisk, it's different. You know what I mean? So like that's where I see like more value in what they got back. Also, being able to pair LeBron James with Anthony Davis, you basically give up whatever you have. And I mean, depending on who they have the ability to go sign, everybody's saying they need to go get a point guard. I'm with Brandon from the beginning of this season. They need shooters.
Yeah, I think that's what everyone needs to be saying.
Honestly,
they need shooters.
LeBron,
that's what they need.
LeBron could be their Magic Johnson. He could be that point guard.
100%.
And
his career will last longer.
He's not going to be skying over guys anymore. He's just not at that point in his career anymore. He can do it if he needs to, but you don't want him doing that on a regular basis if you want him to be healthy for an 82-game season.
You would rather have him doing that in the playoffs fresh than, playing the, however many regular season games, posting people up in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you even have Anthony Davis can handle the ball too pretty well. I mean, honestly, they're in a good spot. They have 2 superstar studs, and they have a good role player with Kuzma. And I think if they added another point guard, it might take some pressure off of him. But,
yeah, definitely.
A 2-guard would be fantastic. If they added like a J.J. Redick or a Korver. Korver's probably going to get waived or something because he just got traded too.
I even look at like Bullock.
Reggie Bullock.
That's the dude that I look at the Lakers to be going after.
But he was on their team last year, wasn't he? Yeah, I think they traded for him, or the Pistons traded him at the end of the year.
Well, I mean, even still, like a point guard, like they still have Rondo. I know he's not like the.
No, he's not on the team anymore.
He's a 1-year deal.
They signed their whole team last year was like a 1-year deal. The only guys that weren't were all their rookies, all their young guys they've been building around. But
the only other part of this that like make solidifying my point that the Lakers got a good deal is back to the Celtics. The year that they dished out all their superstars for all these picks, seeming to have good talent come back, and they haven't gotten anywhere. So I feel like the draft picks are actually a lot less valued in the future because you really don't know what you're getting out of them. So you're seeing most teams now willing to cut ties with those picks pretty fast because you're seeing teams like the Suns who've been picking in the top 5 forever and not being able to do anything. The only difference maybe being the Sixers, but that took them a lot longer to get there than it should have. So I feel like teams are definitely devaluing their draft picks if they're consistently in a playoff hunt. You
also got to know how to draft and develop your players. The Suns do not know how to do that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I mean, they've had so many chances at the top talent, and I was just talking about it today. Josh Jackson got tied into something. He was like the 4th pick a couple of years back.
They have a lot of good prospects on their team.
For sure.
They're a shit team.
Yeah. Well, they got shafted pretty bad this year, but I mean, whatever. But apparently, I guess he is in like parent court or whatever because he got his 4-month-old child high.
Oh God!
It was like accidentally high or some shit.
Accidentally high, and it was after he had gotten arrested for going out to like a nightclub or whatever. And I'm like,
how dumb can you like? I'm not gonna get into it.
Yeah,
like how
that's enough said.
Yeah.
But with the draft being tomorrow, I'm really interested to see some of these chips that are gonna start moving around. I can't. Me and Brandon discussed it off the pod. I really don't see the Pelicans holding on to this 4th overall pick.
Yeah, trading that. I feel like they'll package that and Lonzo up for something.
Yeah, dude. Lonzo Ball.
One of them's going. Either Lonzo or that pick.
Just his dad away from the Lakers organization is like a win.
The thing,
you got to put him in a small market.
My biggest bone to pick with like LeVar Ball and his freaking
I couldn't think of his name.
Is this dude Lonzo Ball? And I'm gonna pull up some numbers here real quick so you guys can understand.
God.
When he's healthy, which is a very big.
That's a big if.
If yes.
When.
So, like, he's played in 99 games. He started 95 of those. Not great, but okay. He's in his second year, or he was in his second year. The dude has a 43.7 free throw percentage.
Jeez.
As a fucking point guard.
Yeah, I mean, there's no excuse for that.
He averages 10 points a game as a point guard.
Dude, that's embarrassing. I used to do that as a fucking kid.
He averages 6.5 assists as a point guard. And now, if we were talking 15, 16 years ago, when the point guard's job was to facilitate to the big men, to get the ball to the Shaqs and the Dwight Howards and everybody else, yeah, you got yourself, I mean, you definitely want to see more assists on there, but you'd have yourself a decent player.
Well, not only that, but if you're doing 10 points a game and 6 assists,
yeah, exactly.
Like his weaknesses are definitely an issue. His strengths are
his defense is phenomenal.
His defense and his ability to facilitate are phenomenal. But that's the only two things he's really good at.
I will put like a little asterisk next to the assist because he did play partially with LeBron this year. Where
your numbers are going to take a hit because he's sharing the ball, he's facilitating.
But you're going to tell me that this kid is the reason that the Lakers aren't going to win a championship when he plays the premier position in the NBA. Look at every other point guard in basketball. Say what you want, James Harden, he's a point guard. He plays point guard. I know Chris Paul says he does, but James Harden plays point guard.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook, Seth Curry, Ben Simmons, Damian Lillard. Like, these are dudes that are putting up massive amounts of points a game and dishing the rock out. Mm-hmm. So it can be done. And to
even
say that
Ben Simmons, he can't even shoot, and yet he still gets the job done.
That dude gets to the rim, though.
Yeah, he can get the job done. He can still get his points, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and so, like, this is pathetic to me. And, I mean, I've vouched for Lonzo Ball for a long time, saying that if he can be a player that doesn't try to do too much, you know, be a Jason Kidd, be a Rajon Rondo, play good defense, facilitate the ball, you'll have a great career. But the free throw numbers, you're just not putting in the work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's pathetic.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, the last bit of news, I guess that Mike Conley trade went down today.
Yeah.
That was a big move. We saw that coming because...
Oh, John Morant's coming.
John Morant's coming to the Grizzlies, who moved up in the lottery to number 2. And I
think Corver was
a part of that, and so was Grayson Allen.
Yeah,
Grayson Allen. Yeah, I saw that one too.
Jay Crowder, and then a couple first-round picks too are associated with it. So, I mean, Mike Conley, I do like Mike Conley. I think he's a little overpaid, but I mean, I don't think of Utah as a huge free agent destination.
But it helps their team for sure.
No, and that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I think this is a move they kind of had to make, considering where they were at as a franchise. I mean, they have...
Well, and you're not going to be able to go out and sign a player like Kemba Walker or Kyrie Irving.
And they have 3 stars now.
Yeah,
they have...
You need a facilitator. You need somebody that can play the point and play it well. And Mike Conley is probably like... I like him a lot.
And what's his name? Rudy Gobert. He just tosses it up. And now that Ricky Rubio's off the team, it's like they needed a point guard. They had I can't think of his name right now. Won the dunk contest a couple of years ago. Actually really liked the guy. He had to take a step back.
Levine or whatever?
No, can't think of his name.
Shoot.
It's gonna drive me nuts.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, so he
nuts.
Yeah, he's a stud too, and it's going to drive me nuts trying to remember who he is.
Trying to think of who it is.
Yeah,
the Utah
they call him
Jazz.
Spider.
Donovan Mitchell, the Spider. Yeah, he's a stud. Yeah, I love Donovan Mitchell. I think he should have won Rookie of the Year a couple years ago.
Yeah, he should have.
So they have 3 studs, and for a place like Utah, it's tough to attract.
Where the West is wide open now.
Yeah, it's a smart move for both sides. I don't know if it's a championship move, but it's a move that'll push them closer to.
They're a competitive team. And they win at home. So
and they're a tough place to play at.
So who's the favorite to win it next year? I know that
it's impossible to say right now because free agency hasn't happened.
It's easy to say. The Lakers, obviously.
Yeah, because they have 2 superstars.
I mean,
honestly, I thought it was going to be
3 guys in their roster, though.
I thought it was going to be a little bit of Machado Harper kind of battle in the NBA with Anthony Davis and KD.
Yeah,
but now that KD's out, obviously that there's not too much in the free agent that's going to happen. So,
and Anthony Davis wasn't a free agent this year.
Yeah,
it was like a trade piece.
But now it's a matter of
he was still in talks, like big talks of like he was going to leave the Pelicans.
Oh yeah, definitely. If it wasn't going to happen this year, he was going to be a free agent next year. I say the Lakers is kind of like a joke, but if you look at the West now, it's wide open. Now, if Kawhi Leonard signs with the Clippers are hands down my favorite to win the championship.
There's other team. I think the Rockets are going to make some big moves this year too.
I don't think that they can make enough moves to fix their problems, though.
Well, I'm hearing now that Al Horford's off the market or on the market, the Celtics don't have him. I'm hearing they're interested in Clint Capella, which would be a massive trade, and I think he's on a very team-friendly contract. And then I'm hearing Chris Paul and Harden have big dysfunction. I don't know if they can unload Chris Paul's contract because I don't know who wants it. Dude's getting way overpaid, and he's way at the end of his career.
Yeah, but James Harden also cannot carry a team to a championship.
No, for sure, and he'll carry them to playoffs.
Yeah,
and
so that's what I'm saying. Like if you're looking at it, like from the Eastern Conference to the Western Conference, depending on obviously, like we said, being too soon, depending on where Kawhi Leonard ends up, I would imagine if he ends up back with the Rockets would be favored again to win the championship.
The Raptors.
Yeah, sorry, the Raptors would be favored again to win the championship. If he ends up with the Clippers would be favored to win.
Nuggets are pretty stacked too. Strength in numbers there.
The Bucks,
but again, they're out
Nuggets.
East. But are you talking about winning the whole thing?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean just the West. I was just talking about like.
No, I was talking about the whole thing. I was getting.
Well, I mean, even if he's in Toronto still, that's the Eastern. That's not.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about just the East and the West. The whole thing. The Nuggets aren't a team that I see winning the whole thing.
No, I don't see them. I thought we were talking about Western Conference.
No, just
teams
the whole thing.
Yeah, probably Raptors are my front runner. I mean,
if Kawhi stays.
Yeah, if Kawhi stays.
Leaves.
If Kawhi leaves, I really like the 76ers. I think they have a good chance.
You're still trusting the process?
I still trust.
I don't trust that process. If Kawhi Leonard stays with the Raptors.
If he leaves, I'm taking the Sixers. I think they are.
You over your Clippers?
Well, not over my Clippers.
Because if he leaves, he's only going to one place.
Yeah, we're talking like overall winner. Who's the favorite to win?
It just depends on.
Brand's getting wrapped up in his own conversation here.
No, because
he's getting confused by who's coming out of where.
I can't be such a homer. I won't.
Brand, let me help. I'm going to help his process a little bit.
Let me
easier.
say this though. I'm very superstitious. So if I say Kawhi,
you can't talk about the no hitter while it's going on.
If I say, oh, Kawhi Leonard's coming to the Clippers, we're going to win a championship.
How many times am I excited to talk about the Chargers
that's
over
not
here
gonna happen.
From an unbiased standpoint? You can be unbiased by your team.
I know,
if Kawhi Leonard ends up on the Clippers,
the shit out of it.
Kawhi Leonard ends up on the Clippers. They have the best overall roster in the NBA. They are the most complete team.
We would still have to make a couple more moves because we still have like another max slot we got to fill out.
But just with Kawhi, with the way that they played this year, with having Doc Rivers, having as deep of a bench as they do, it's like picking up Kawhi and putting him in the Raptors West. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. It's the same like complete roster. It's not a bunch of superstars.
Yeah,
but I would be favoring the Clippers at that point. So he doesn't have to say anything. But I would say the Clippers would be the most complete team.
Okay.
The other dude I look to watch out for is Tobias Harris, where he ends up landing because
I think he's re-upping with the Sixers. I think the Sixers are stuck where they're at. I see Butler and Harris re-upping with their team.
They better hope that team can start to freaking get it together because they're paying a lot of money.
I mean, let's not forget they were one bad bounce away from beating the Raptors and going to the Eastern Finals.
They still had to play another game.
Well, that was Game 7. That was Game 7, and we would have had to win in overtime, but still.
This is coming from the same guy that said that the Padres could have won the World Series if the umpire didn't call a strike.
No, that was Game 7, and that ball, if it doesn't bounce in there, they're going to overtime.
Yeah, and anything can happen there.
Yeah, they could have won in overtime. So.
We saw it in the AFC Championship game with the Saints and the.
I mean, all it takes is one play, and it could just alter everything.
Well, all right, we'll see how free agency goes. It seems like it's going to be pretty intense over
I'm excited
the next couple months.
That's 2 weeks from now, I think, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Well, we'll switch over to the NHL. We had the Stanley Cup finish off. Game 7 last week. Blues, Bruins kind of talking about it, how it was like a rematch of like that 76 series or whatever the hell it was.
Mm-hmm.
Not really sure how it was going to go. Game 7, complete domination by the Blues. Win it 4-1. Their song of the year has been Gloria. That song Gloria.
Yeah.
Just because like some old dude in a bar or whatever, but
because it's
I don't really know the story, but like some old dude was in the bar and he was they were watching the Blues game. The Blues won. He's just sitting there and he goes, "Hey, fucking played Glory on the jukebox. Everyone's like, what? And he kept saying it over and over, and they finally played it. So that's kind of been their mantra. It's like that thumbs down with the Yankees
a
couple years ago. But, but it was a good game from the Blues.
After what we were talking about last week, they were 100-1 underdogs to make to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, so
like earlier in the year, right?
In January, yeah. So a guy made a bet in January.
$400 bet, right?
$400.
What did it do?
Like 100 and something thousand.
Oh!
So it was pretty funny because going up, right, the guy, like, they're in the Stanley Cup. After game 1, Vegas calls him and they go, hey, man, we'll give you $40,000 if you just take it right now. Guy goes, nope. After game 2, hey, man, we'll give you $50,000. Nope. It was like game 6, we'll give you $75,000. Nope, I'm sticking with my team. Ends up winning $100,000. So, I mean, like, that's a pretty ballsy move, you know what I mean? Like,
not earlier on, but at the end of the series, that's when I would be feeling like
that's like deal or no deal.
Yeah,
like
that's like open the case. What
you're like, all right, it's 75,000. Oh shit,
yeah,
that's
like
a lot of money.
I get 75,000, or I get nothing, or I'm losing, $400. Basically.
Earlier on, I would have been like,
yeah.
Earlier on, I would have been like, no, I'm already all in. Like.
But at that point, like when it's tied, going back,
man.
Going back to home
towards
ice
the
advantage,
end of it, for sure, it would have been difficult.
Even when they had called and asked for 40,000, I would have been like,
ooh,
damn, okay.
Yeah.
But like that's the kind of shit that would put me like through like therapy if I would have like
lost,
not done what he did.
Yeah. Yeah, if he would have taken it and then they would have won. Oh man, but hats off to him for sticking with his team,
Yeah.
This
what's $400 to me? That's what it was. It was $400.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This Stanley Cup reminded me a lot of the Super Bowl, where if you don't really like the teams that are playing, or you don't really like hockey, you're just watching it because it's on kind of thing, extremely boring. But, just the implications of like who the Blues were, where they came from, how they, started the year off, last place. It was just like, it was exciting to see.
Yeah, hell yeah.
When
you're passionate about the sport, it helps a lot when like you're not just watching the game and the outcome. You're watching a team that has grown or where they come from and what it means to them. Same thing like if the 76ers were to win a championship next year, it's not just that the 76ers won a championship this year, it's where they came from.
Yeah.
I think I also want to comment a little bit. I won't.
No, yeah, go.
But like small market teams, man, this is the era to be in a small market because all these teams are winning their first title.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw it with the Raptors, you've seen it with the Blues.
Oh,
you saw it with the Houston Astros. You're seeing it with the Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean, all these teams.
The Cubs did it a couple years ago.
It's like all these teams are winning their first title. Well, Cubs had won one back in the day, but still, it's been 100 years, and this is like. This has been the decade for teams to get their first championship.
Yeah, Padres next.
That's right. So, I know you got to keep it going.
But so
giving hope to the small brother.
Going forward next season, obviously the Toronto Lightning, they're the heavy favorite. Obviously they got swept this season, but next season we'll see how it goes. Tonight was awards night in hockey, so they give out MVP, Rookie of the Year, those kind of things. So I'll just go over a couple. So the Calder Trophy, that's the Rookie of the Year. That goes to the Canucks, Elias Petterson. I've been chirping about this guy all season.
Elias.
Real good. First Canuck player to win it since 92. So, feels good to finally, I was born in 92. Seeing somebody get it now, it's like full circle, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go.
The next one, Lindsay Award, that goes for the most outstanding player. That goes to Nikita Kucherov for his record-setting 128 points. The Vezina Trophy is the best goalie. This one I kind of had a little bit of issues with. It goes to Andrei Vasilvsky. He had an amazing season. Best goal against percentage, best save percentage, smallest goals against percentage. But still, I just thought Jordan Binnington was the Blues goalie. Rookie, I think he put out an amazing effort. Next one.
These awards, are they reflective of just a regular season?
Yeah. So the next one is the Selke Trophy. This goes to the St. Louis Blues hometown hero, Ryan O'Reilly. So Ryan O'Reilly was that guy, I don't know if you guys remember, was the guy that he signed with St. Louis because that's where he's from there and that's where his family lives. And he was like, he wanted to stay home and stay near his family. So I thought that was real cool that he gets the Selke. He also won the Conn Smythe, which is the playoff MVP. So the guy just had an amazing season. Norris Trophy is the best defenseman. That goes to Mark Giordano. Again, another guy that's just a staple on his team. And then finally, the Hart Trophy, which is the MVP, goes to Nikita Kucherov, who also won the Ted Lindsay Award.
There's a lot of Nikitas out there.
Well, it's the same guy.
Oh.
No, it's the same guy. But, I mean, guy just had an amazing season. You know, the team won 62 games, which is just tied for the most wins. Just an overall true MVP of the league. So I think all the awards kind of went out to the appropriate people, and it was just good to see Petterson win the Rookie of the Year. I was excited about that.
Petterson.
That's right. It's kind of all I got for hockey. The draft is the day after the NBA draft, which is next week. Is the NBA draft
tomorrow?
NBA draft tomorrow.
Okay, so then it's
Hockey's
Friday. Yeah, that's an extremely deep draft, opposite of the NBA draft that you guys are talking about.
Yep.
The Canucks are picking 12. We'll see who goes to them. But the number 7 pick, who they got number 1, or in their first round last year, was this guy named Quinn Hughes. His brother is supposed to go first overall this year. So
nice, keeping it in the fam.
Yeah, so it'll be a very good draft. Very interesting to see how things fall. But Brandon, you have our stat of the day this week.
Stat of the day, dabba-dooba-doo, stat of the day, dat of the day. Here comes that what? Stat of the day. Bop!
It is baseball related.
Okay.
And it is related to one of the crappiest teams in the league, the Miami Marlins.
Yeah.
Oof.
This is an especially sad stat.
I was going to say, is it going to make me sad?
Well, no, just,
luckily
in the 21st century,
okay,
they've had 13 losing seasons. That's pretty bad.
There's been 19 years, so...
Yeah, so they've only had 6 winning seasons, which Padres are probably up in that territory too, to be honest. But the Yankees have had 11 losing seasons in the past 100 years.
Oof.
So they've had less losing seasons in 100 years than they've had in 19 years. That's pretty sad, but
they got that new stadium.
Hey, they got some. They have some titles too, man. I mean, they've won 2 championships.
I think
Willis.
That's about it. That's all they got going
Josh
for.
Beckett.
They've drafted.
I think I also heard a stat about the White Sox that they've had the most losses over the last 4 years than any
White
other
Sox.
Or I mean the Marlins.
Oh,
Marlins. Oh, for sure. It's either them or the Orioles. Orioles making up for lost time for sure. This year and last year.
Dude, that's hard to be a fan of that.
Yeah, well, the thing that's got to be
if you won.
And you know what's
it's also gonna be frustrating considering how deep that team is, or how deep they've been. So they, a couple of years ago, they were just shy of being strong contenders when
they
traded
had away 2 MVPs.
Yeah, they traded away 2 MVPs and a potential MVP, and they lost a Cy Young caliber player. Unfortunately, they had no control over that. But
who's that?
Jose Fernandez.
Oh yeah.
I mean that I think that was really really hurt that franchise, that death. And then
that's tough.
Derek Dietrich looks good too. I mean,
Derek Jeter too. I mean, he comes from winning, and you go be the GM somewhere, and you just
he knew exactly what he was signing up for, though.
But your vision just isn't going where you want it to go.
Yeah, but he signed on for a rebuild when he signed on.
Yeah.
That's like
as soon as they got rid of Stanton, Yelich was like, "I want out."
Mm-hmm.
And then they traded Ozuna, and then they basically have unloaded everyone of value there. They even had D. Gordon. They had JT Realmuto too. Remember we lost him.
Simmons Addison Russell.
Addison Russell.
Yeah.
That's the one piece.
No, they got Starlin Castro.
Starlin Castro. Yeah. That's right. Addison
Still,
Russell,
I mean, unfortunate for them, but hopefully they can turn it around. I feel like they somehow just are the luckiest franchise too. They're so lucky and they're poorly run.
Yep.
That's kind of how I would characterize them.
Damn, that's tough. That's a lot of losing seasons. Well, everybody, we are the Three Amigos and a podcast. Listen to us anywhere you listen to podcasts, and we'll keep season 2 churning.
See you next week.
Later.